Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Lamp. I'm your host, James Lampkin. And my guest today is the host of the YouTube show Big Mama Energy, Miss Brittany and Miss Tia. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
I did say it right? Big
You
Mama
did.
You got it
did.
right.
Energy. What was the motivation behind the YouTube show?
You know what? We've always talked about doing our own YouTube, but what really got it rolling was quarantine of last year. When we got on quarantine, I was like, look, we both thought like, why not? Like we always had busier schedules, working full time. And so quarantine kind of slowed me down a lot. Tia, on the other hand,
I was still
she was
working
working
through the
throughout
quarantine.
quarantine.
So
But she, had time to schedule sessions where we could kind of just brainstorm. And we were like, look, we're gonna do it. Now is the opportune time.
absolutely.
Why not, why not try, to do this now? And we started with our phones, literally our iPhone.
Yep, we started with our iPhones.
So yeah.
But yeah, we've always had deep, crazy conversations. Like for real. I mean, we're only almost a year into doing Big Mama Energy, but I feel like y'all haven't even gotten like the raw for real. It's like our conversations, we're sisters. So, that sister love and sister bond is deep. So we be talking about some wild things. And we always felt like, you know what, we should record this. Like this should definitely be a show. You know what I mean?
Documented.
Absolutely.
How many years apart are you two?
Two.
Yeah.
Two? Okay. Who's the oldest?
Brittany.
Brittany's the oldest. Okay. I'm not gonna ask y'all age, so do you have you guys ever considered doing the putting it on audio as well, or just YouTube?
Like a podcast?
Yeah, like a podcast.
It's crossed our minds.
Definitely. I feel like a lot of male viewers will appreciate that because I know a lot of men listen to podcasts typically, over than
and
watching
a lot of people have just kind of started like listening to podcasts a lot. So we thought about it. I know a lot goes into it, and we would just have to like do our research and kind of try to figure that out.
Right.
So you mentioned men, but your show Big Mama Energy. You think that caters to men?
We have a lot of male viewers, to be honest.
And we have different topics, and we always ask, what do you guys want to hear? And this goes for men as well, you know what I mean? And Big Mama Energy, yes, it's our name, but it's more of a confidence thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much where Big Mama Energy came from.
Were you two always comfortable and confident with, being a big woman?
Not always, not when I was younger. I'm going to say, when you're coming into yourself and, adolescence, I wasn't always comfortable, but, you grow into it. Well, some people, I did. I became comfortable with myself and who I am. And I'm like, look, you're either going to love it or you're not. It is what it is.
So, right. Yeah. As for me, it's the same thing. You kind of get comfortable in your own skin. Growing up is weird because I feel like a lot of people don't know that I wasn't confident. Because my personality, you would never know that I wasn't confident growing up, but people thought I was. So I feel like this is the life that I was given. This is the body that I was given. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? You work with what you got and you make way. If you don't like something, you change it. And that's where we are now, as grown women and, really trying to navigate it through life. And if we don't like something, we want to change it.
If not, you kind of use what you have. Like, I feel like we're all beautiful. We have different things, we've all been created differently. And you just have to accept your own individual beauty and work with that.
I low-key feel like I was my biggest hater growing up, to be honest.
I know, I feel like
say that again. You was your biggest what?
I was my biggest hater growing up.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
And how long did it take you to get out of that?
I want to say by high school, I was really coming into myself and loving myself more and, fashion as far as clothes and things like that. Back in the day, options of clothes was a little different for plus size women,
Gosh.
the fashion bugs and things
And
like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was absolutely, it was hardly nothing. I mean, they wanted you to wear boxy shirts, it was just like, it wasn't much to choose from.
Yeah, but I've always been like creative. Like I'll cut something up, or you know what I mean. I've always been that type of person. So I feel like that's where a lot of my confidence came from, through fashion and the way I dress it, because it's a way of expression. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think fashion definitely helped me with my confidence a lot.
I was just gonna say, because you mentioned fashion, and I think we're all old enough to see the evolution of fashion. Like they didn't really cater to big women, and now you got more stores. You got wait a minute, you got Lane Bryant. That's the one I always know. Ashley Stewart, fashion figure.
Yep.
Now even
Fashion
Fenty.
Nova.
Yeah, Fashion Nova.
Yeah,
Fenty got the lingerie that straight caters to the. So you said that actually just the evolution of fashion has helped you gain confidence as well?
Absolutely. But even before the evolution started, I've always been like a creator. Like I've always been very creative, so even if something was boxy, I'll cut it up and make it something that looks good on me, or like I've always been that type of person. So, and even back then, I thought like people were talking about me. I told my sister this before, like growing up when I used to do stuff like that, I thought people were talking about me, but little did I know that they was admiring the things that I was doing, so. Yeah.
What's these fashion hauls y'all have going? I saw that on your channel.
So like pretty much what we said, as plus size women, some of these clothes, it varies, they're not true to size and things like that. And it's a lot more options like Fashion Nova. We do Fashion Nova, Shein.
And we just do the hauls, so someone like us can see what it looks like on a bigger person. Maybe we're close to your size or whoever, and you look and you say, okay, well, that's cute on her.
Right.
So maybe I can order that and it will look flattering on myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It kind of gives you, a look. Like, it's like, okay. We used to watch fashion hauls all the time on YouTube, just, to check it out and see like, if this company is really, good for plus size.
Exactly, plus size.
Because they can tell you like you could look at it online and it look like one thing, and then when you get it, it's like, okay, this isn't even cute.
And also,
or it doesn't
I feel
fit
like
me.
when you go online, they don't really have like their plus size models aren't really necessarily plus size. Or they're very like smaller, like they're smaller, like thicker girls, but they're not like really plush females.
Like they might not have a stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
They might not have big boobs or big wide hips or whatever. Like they are very much, you could tell they're selected, hand selected. Like they might be a little curvy and they consider that plus size, but they are getting better. I'll say Fashion Nova is getting better. We're actually putting up real women and you get to see, what they look like, all different kind of plus size women, because we come in all different shapes and sizes. So it's good to, actually see different women in different shapes. And you're like, okay, that probably would be flattering on me because she's kind of shaped like me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you ladies have a favorite fashion designer, like a favorite clothing that you like, you feel like that should go to?
My go-to is Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova Curve. I love them.
Why am I not surprised? I mean, you only mentioned them about 3 times. So.
I know, right?
Me personally, I shop everywhere. Like I feel like I don't have a favorite. Like the vibe is gonna be the vibe regardless. I mix and match things. I shop at Burlington, Ross, Marshalls, Amazon, Fashion Nova, Boohoo. Yes, Amazon got some pieces. Don't get it twisted. Amazon got some pieces.
Amazon is really good, especially like for swimwear and different things. They're good and their prices are reasonable.
So, I mean, I guess because I'm a big guy, I kind of make sure, like, I try not to venture too far away from what I know. Like,
well, you know what? Men clothing is different in general. I feel like when it comes to fashion, y'all got it the hardest because y'all really got to spend money to look good for real.
Yes,
like as far as women, we don't have to necessarily spend that much. Now, don't get me wrong. we can add up a bag on the
it's
shopping list, but that's because, once we get in our
once you start,
bag, it keeps adding up. But I feel like with men, if they buy things, a shirt, some jeans, that's going to run you a pretty penny. So
don't talk about
it's to the point when we buy clothes, it's like, damn, maybe I need to go to the gym a little more. It's not it.
No, for real. So it's definitely a difference when it comes to men and women clothing, for sure. Unless you just like a label whore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not that.
I'm not that either.
And see, I think people think I'm one because I wear a lot of polo by Ralph Lauren. And it's not that I like him. I like his way his clothes fit. Like, I know it's tried and true. And I'm like, look, I'm a big dude. I can't really afford no mistake. So I need to make sure that what I get is good. But I wear black owned t-shirts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just I'll just size it where it might it'll look okay. Like, cause my body kind of built different. So I can't go too big because then it look frumpy. Then I can't
you gotta get that.
I can't go too small because then it shows that I don't go to the gym. So it's like you kind of gotta mix it.
It froze up?
We good. It'll freeze a little bit, but we good. So let's talk about you ladies grew up in Philly. So how's that shaped your perspective on life?
Well, I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware. I guess it was kind of weird. I kind of bounced back and forth. I was in Philly and then I moved to Delaware with my grandparents, and I was there from like kindergarten on up to about 8th grade.
Okay.
So yeah. Then I was in Philly.
What about you, T?
So I've been in Philly all my life, born and raised. Philly is definitely different. I will say that. It's definitely different. It's a little wild, but I love my city, to say the least. Growing up in Philly, I don't know. My mom, what I will say is like, yes, I grew up in the hood, down the bottom West Philadelphia, which is a rough neighborhood to grow up in. But my mother like made sure that I wasn't exposed to certain things, you know what I mean? Although we were in the hood, I never felt like that. I never went without. So I can't really say that I've had like a typical experience growing up in the hood where it's like extremely rough and I was just exposed to the craziest things. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard of things happening, I've had things happening in my lifetime, but I can't say that I was just out here running wild doing the most, but Philly, I will definitely say, I feel like it's just like any other city, you know what I mean?
You get what you get what you get. It depends on what you choose to do.
Absolutely.
I feel like it was definitely a culture shock when I moved back to Philly as a teenager. I was like, okay, that's a little different. And because Wilmington's kind of small, and I was definitely living out in the sticks with my grandparents or suburbs, whatever you want to say. So Philly, the inner city living was just it took some adjusting and getting used to, but I adapted. My family's always been here, so it's not like I wasn't in Philly at all. But it's not for the faint-hearted. You really have to have thick skin.
For sure.
No pun intended, living here.
Definitely.
Do you ladies travel?
A joke.
Huh? Do you actually travel?
Oh, yes.
I haven't traveled in a year, so I'm upset about it. But
most of us haven't traveled.
No, but a lot of people have. You know what I mean?
I just came back from Miami for my birthday. What? Oh, absolutely. I am going to enjoy my life.
Oh, you know what? Because it was your birthday or something, right?
Yeah, it was my birthday. Yeah, and I've been in quarantine. We all have been quarantined, and I'm like, look, I want to go to Miami. That's the plan. And my fiance, we went down there for a few days, and I had a good time. And most people say, oh, Florida, they're not wearing their mask. Everybody had their mask on. Okay. You weren't allowed into places without your mask. So it was just like it was up here. And I like that you had to have your mask on in the hotel. They had everybody spaced out, like we weren't right on top of people when we were out. So I had a good time. I enjoyed myself and I was safe, just like I am here.
So Tia, you haven't traveled. Is this somewhere that you're looking forward to going? Like once everything kind of clears up?
I really just want to go to somewhere like an island, like something tropical. I need a tan. I'm ready to look ominous. Like I'm just like for real. I need a tan. I want to bathe in the sun, have my bathing suit on, and like that's what I'm looking forward to. Like honestly, for
Absolutely.
sure.
I listened to I'm pretty sure this actually this was your newest YouTube video. You
Hmm.
both touched on trauma, and I wanted to ask, why did you two decide to make a video about it?
So it really how it came up for real. I was actually we was planning to do a video and I was ready to go in on Facebook talking about how people I have a huge problem with people bringing their old baggage into new situations. I hate for a person to put you know what is the words, like don't make somebody else, don't make one person pay for another person's mistakes.
Yeah.
That's a real big turn off. And being single, sometimes people do that. They come in and they want to just keep talking about what such and such did, and kind of put you in that same box as that person. And it's like, I'm not that person. And clearly you need to heal from whatever that
Right.
person did to you, because right now you're hindering any situation that you get into before it even really get a chance to really develop
Blossom.
or
Hmm.
blossom. Because now you done told me how I'm like this person 1,001 times, so it's like, okay, well, what's the issue? Because you need to get it together. So that's really what started the conversation. But as we talked about, we talked about childhood traumas, we talked about traumas in the workplace. Like it's not always a relationship
Right.
traumas that we go through and need to heal from.
Yeah. It's many different traumas. And what really was interesting, most people don't even deal with their trauma.
Mm-hmm.
They just, kind of dig it somewhere deep and it just leaks out when you deal with relationships or when
Right.
you have to deal at work or whatever. You'll see like, okay, something happened to you and you need to deal with it because I didn't do that to you, and nobody else did.
Did either of you ladies have to deal with any trauma?
Yes,
How,
definitely.
how did what were some of the things how were some of the ways that you were able to overcome it?
Therapy for me, one of my childhood traumas, was losing our little brother.
Oh
And
wow.
when we were very young, and my grandparents put my older sister and I in therapy. And that helped just being able to talk about that, you know. So you like we said, it shaped our lives, completely changed the dynamic
Mm-hmm.
pretty quickly. So that's a trauma that, we had to talk about that. That was gonna, that affected us our whole life.
How old was he?
He was 5.
Wow.
Yeah, he was 5 and he had a seizure. So when he passed away, he was in the tub and he drowned. So that was some trauma right there. And he was 5. So I believe I was 6 or about to be 7.
And I was 5 as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We're
Wow.
exactly 1 month apart.
Yeah.
You and your brother.
Yeah.
Cause see,
Oh,
we have different mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Same
all have the
father.
same dad. So,
oh, okay.
that
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
was
and our daddy genes is very strong, as you can see.
yeah, I can see.
As you can
But that
see.
was one of the things I'm like, okay, look, some things you just kind of figure out, you think about it, and it's like, look, if they want to touch on that, they
No, we're
can.
very transparent about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you never
yeah.
know. Other people probably going through the same thing or that has happened to them.
Yeah, definitely. And then one thing too that you ladies, but this was on a live, and
Mm-hmm.
this was something else that really made me that grabbed my attention. You two were talking about love languages. So how important, because I don't know if people know how important those are. So I wanted you to elaborate on that.
Love language to me is very important because you could be loving on somebody or you think you're loving on them. And it's not, it's not, I guess, connecting with them because maybe you're buying them gifts and they could care less about gifts. And you're like, okay, every time you mess up, you're like, oh, well, I bought you this and I bought you that. And they're like, my love language is when you communicate with me. Or, what else is maybe when you do acts of service, you wash the dishes for me or whatever, you do something for me. And all of that, you bringing me and buying me gifts, maybe that doesn't resonate with them. So it's important to know your partner's love language, because all the other stuff you're doing, it might not,
I feel
resonate.
like the biggest mistake that people make is trying to love somebody the way you need to be loved. Everybody needs to be loved different.
Right.
And that's why love languages is so important. You know what I mean? So me personally, I need to be reassured. Like reassurance is a thing for me. That may not be a thing for most men. You know what I mean? Some men possibly.
Reassurance, what do you mean?
So although I do like actions, like I'm a big believer of, actions over, words, because somebody could tell you something all day, but it's always nice to hear,
those words
of affirmation,
Okay.
Like I appreciate you, I love you, I'm thankful, or whatever the case may be. I definitely need that reassurance. I'm sorry.
Okay, because I want to stay on reassurance for just a second because when you say reassured, that almost feels like you may be lacking a little confidence.
Is that what that means? Why do you feel that way?
Because if I'm dealing with a woman and she says, "Well, I just need reassurance," and I'm like, "Well, reassurance from what?" Because it's like if you already feel a certain way about something, then like if you're 100% confident in that, then why do you need me to reassure you on that? That's how I'm looking at it. Huh?
I said, because you were my man. Like if you're my man, I need you to tell me like you look beautiful. Some of us, that is our love language. We like those words of affirmation. We like to hear that reassurance, like, oh, you look good today.
Right.
Okay.
Because I can hear that from a million different other men. And that's not who I'm looking to hear that from. I'm looking to hear that from my partner.
Okay.
To reassure that you still love me. I still have it. I still have your attention. I have that gaze from you that, I had initially when we first started dealing with each other. Like, I need that as well. Okay. And I feel like it's important for women to give that too. Like I give compliments as well. Like, oh, you look good, right. Same thing.
All right. Okay. See?
But why do you feel, I just don't understand why, because I feel like a lot of men probably would agree with you as far as it being a confidence thing. And I just don't feel like why, does it have to go to being a lack of confidence? Just me wanting to hear, babe, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? I'm thankful. I'm grateful that you're in my life. Like, I feel like, why is that a lack of confidence?
Okay, so I think it was the term reassured. I think that's what threw me off. Because when we talk about love languages, you do like words of affirmation. I think reassurance and affirmation kind of like the two different things. Like if you know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I say it correctly. It's just like the way you term something could change people's perception.
Right. And I understand that, but I just feel like, you know what I mean? When you get into a relationship, I feel like every day, every week, y'all should always constantly be reassuring each other that y'all are both in it. It shouldn't be like, oh, at the beginning phases, oh yeah, I love you and all of these things, and then like it's over. And like no,
but some people feel like that.
But
some people feel like that. Well, I love you because I'm with you, and it's like I understand that, but things can change.
Right,
your thoughts could have changed. I need you to say that, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
And people don't have conversations. Let's keep it real. A lot of people in relationships don't have conversations that need to be had.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Things could change and you would never know because y'all never had a conversation.
I could firsthand tell you I agree with that.
Okay.
Because there's been times where I didn't, I haven't done the words of affirmation thing. Because I'm not gonna say men don't need it, because everybody wants to, everybody wants that. But I
Right.
think with women it's just different. Like we as men have to constantly remind y'all that y'all beautiful, y'all intelligent,
Yes.
you look good in that outfit. And I'll admit, I'm the first to admit I dropped the ball a lot on that. My wife then spent hours getting herself dolled up, getting dressed up, and I might say, "Oh, you look nice,"
You like nice.
but I don't know if
Nah.
but I don't necessarily know if that's what she wanted to hear. I'm sure,
Right.
she wanted to hear more, and then, but I'll be the same one in my feelings when a dude loving her picture. So it's like,
Right, exactly.
Yes. Like, oh, you look drop dead gorgeous, period.
And that's what we be wanting to hear from our men.
Exactly.
And me, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna pipe you up. Like, you don't even understand. I'm gonna be your biggest fan.
Right.
So I need that same energy.
We working on it.
What's your sign? What is your sign?
Aquarius.
Oh, wow. Gotcha.
So when's your birthday?
January 26th.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's the day before our little brothers.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Aquarius heavy in the building.
We you Aquarius too, right?
Yeah, February 10th. It just passed. So
yeah, we always get with weirdos and.
Well, I feel like if we're weird to you, we don't like you. So you wouldn't know our personality.
I will say we do have. Well, let me speak for myself. I don't want to speak for all the girls, but I definitely have some weird quirks about me. So
like everybody does, though.
Everybody
you know what
does.
I mean?
Yeah.
We're weird to somebody.
Sure to point them out. So.
But like she said, like Sissy said, we're weird to somebody.
Everybody's weird to somebody.
If they're not on that same page, they're weird, and that's okay.
I'm gonna start with you, Brittany. What's your primary love language?
I definitely it's words of affirmation for me. It is acts of service. If you cook me a little something when I come home, I'm like, oh, or make me a little breakfast, or do the dishes, I'm like, oh my gosh. Even if it is something like, if you buy me something, I do like gifts, but I feel like you can't fix stuff with gifts for me. Right. You need to really mean, I need an apology from you. I need it to mean something, a conversation. But if you do buy me my favorite snack, I'm like, oh my God, you thought about me. Right. It's the little things. Like, you went out today, you bought me a candle home because you know I love candles. I'm like, oh, that's the little stuff that like please me. You don't have to go big. I like it when you do, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to go big. You could just come home with a candle, my favorite candle, or something like that. Just lets me know you were thinking about me. A card. I love stuff like that.
What about you?
Goes a long way.
So I would definitely say, like I said, words of affirmation. I need some reassurance. I like physical touch. I think that is a big thing. If you could go without touching on me, what's the problem?
Right.
Something ain't right.
True, yeah.
Something is not right. But to kind of piggyback off of what Brittany said, definitely like thoughtful gifts. Things, it might not even cost you anything, just to know that somebody was thinking about me, or maybe I said something in a conversation months ago, and maybe I said I needed a coffee mug, or I needed something that I needed, and you paid attention and you worked. That is just beautiful. I love those types of things, because like Sissy said, gifts aren't everything. You can't fix things with gifts, but meaningful gifts is beautiful. Just to know that you were thought of is a beautiful feeling,
Do you ladies show love the way you receive it? The way you like to receive it?
Yes. If I'm getting that same energy in return, absolutely. And sometimes I go above and beyond. Like, when I like somebody and really care about them, like, I'm locked in. I'm low-key obsessed. That's why, like, no, for real. That's why I really try to take my time in situations, because once I like you, I like you.
Okay.
So I'm all in. I'm doing these things and I'm paying attention and I'm just letting you know that you're special for sure. Like I said, I'm gonna be your biggest fan. So I need
Right.
that same energy.
Yeah. I
I'm
love that way too.
say that again. I'm sorry, Brittany.
I said I love that way too. Like I will get you, your favorite things, or I'm listening out to what you said you needed. Like this the other day, my fiance was like, I need some beard oil or something to put in his beard. And I saw some at the store. I'm like, let me grab him this beard oil. Just little things like that, or I'm gonna cook you your favorite meal. Or I know you like to have, a meal when you come home. So that's gonna be ready. Like little things like that. I'll pay
Okay, but
attention
he know how to cook now.
to.
He knows how to cook now.
We're working on that. We're working on. I will have you prepare. I will prepare that. We working on that. He can make some salmon. He can make some
Oh, all
salmon
right. Look, well,
and a
that's a start.
burger, but we working on the rest of it.
Hey, YouTube. You learn everything on YouTube.
Right.
What I'm gonna close it with this. Where do you ladies want to take Big Mama energy next?
It's really up from here. Honestly, me personally, I could say that I'm on go time. Like right now, I feel like with my personal, well, I'm not going to say personal work because I feel like Big Mama Energy is my personal work, but like the jobs that I'm working to, get to where I need to be in life. Right now, I'm going through some, changes with that. About to start maybe two more jobs, well, two new jobs. And really,
You said two?
yes, absolutely. Because you know what it is? I was with a company for 7 years and I was a manager, a general manager for the company. So I was running my own store and I was also a training manager for the company at the same time. So I wore multiple hats in the company and it was very draining. Like all of my time was like, honestly, when we started Big Mama Energy, like, yeah, I got it done and I made time for Big Mama Energy because this is my personal work. This is something that, is for me. But I was drained. Like that job, it took so much out of me. And I feel like I wasn't using it for what it was. I feel like I should have had way more saved up. I should have been investing in myself. So my whole mind set has changed honestly over the course of this past year. And right now I'm in a position where I feel like I could do two jobs because I know what my goals is. I don't want to have two jobs for forever. Like absolutely, I don't think nobody wants to do that. But the goal is to have these two jobs so I can invest in me, in myself. So you said, where do we see Big Mama? Big Mama Energy is up, like for real, for real.
We see merchandise in the near future.
Yes.
We've been talking about that. We have like some goals definitely for this year, trying to reach more subscribers on YouTube because that's not always easy, especially when you're not trying to, jeopardize who you are and go viral to get them and be authentic,
Right.
So that's what we're working on. We have a lot of things written down.
I mean, just here being with you right now, you know what I mean? This is another stepping stone for Big Mama Energy because the people that don't know us, you are introducing, us to them, and we greatly appreciative for that. And just yesterday, unfortunately, Sissy couldn't be there because she just had LASIK surgery on her eyes. But we had an event that Big Mama Energy was a part of, and we did a photo shoot and promo and things like that because we have an event that's coming up. It's a woman empowerment event that Big Mama Energy can be a part of. So we look forward to doing more events like that and working with others.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. You said you wasn't there, Brittany?
No, I had eye surgery yesterday. So
you know what? I'm kind of curious that the only reason because you two come, you're a package deal.
Right.
Yes.
So how did that work that she wasn't there?
You know what it is? The day didn't work. I had to work that day.
In general.
And I was having surgery. And this was a good opportunity that we got to connect with this lady in particular. So I didn't want us to, miss out on that.
Yeah.
So Sissy represents both of us. And the actual event that is coming up
is April 10th.
It's April 10th, and I'll be able to attend.
Oh, okay.
So this
Okay.
is
Yeah,
just like a
so
photo shoot.
yeah, it was a photo
forward
shoot.
and everything.
We recorded like a little promo video for
Right.
it. Well, not little, but a big promo video for it. It was really nice. It's little black dress event. And it's really, really nice. Miss T Christine is the person who's organizing it and putting it all together. And it was amazing. I got to meet some wonderful women that are doing their own ventures and endeavors. And it was a great experience.
You have to network, you know, you have to do that networking, put yourself out there in order to reach our goals that we have. So
And trust me, everybody knew who Sissy was in the room. I was like, yes, my sister Brittany. Like, yes. And even, Miss T Christine,
I
she
talked to
was,
her as well. Yeah,
saying Brittany's name. So it wasn't like, yeah, Brittany wasn't there, but she was there in spirit for sure. Like her physical body wasn't there, but she was definitely there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And we're gonna have a good time at the event. So.
Well, look, I want to thank you ladies for doing this. It's truly been a pleasure talking with you. I've chimed in on a couple of your lives, but this is the first time we actually got a chance to talk, and I could say it truly was a pleasure talking with you too.
Yes, thank you. Same.
Thanks for having us. We really enjoyed it.
Definitely. Can you let's make sure we tell the people how they can follow you and also how they can watch the YouTube show.
Okay, so my name on Instagram is tia.shanae. And then Big Mama Energy is bigmama.energy on Instagram. And then our YouTube is Big Mama Energy.
Yes. And I am this girl _smiles a lot on Instagram. And you can find us, at Big Mama Energy. We also have our email, bigmamaenergy@gmail.com.
Yes.
If you want to hit us up with some suggestions, some topics, whatever, or just pick our brains, that's open as well.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure if you just Google Big Mama Energy, will pop up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, ladies. And I truly wish you all the best moving forward with the brand and what you're trying to build.
Thank you. We wish you the best as well. We're all out here working and building. So thank you for, having us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And I really do. And like I said, all the best. And I know you guys got some great things moving forward. So even though it's a women's show, I'll kind of
we tap in. Yeah. We like having perspective of the male.
Exactly.
Well, so that's good.
So even if you have some topics that you feel like, you want us to hit on, definitely let us know.
You don't want me to do that. Your email will be full.
Let us listen. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
And I'll make sure I send some suggestions your way.
Okay. Thank you.